and I would like, the two members of the secretariat who were close to that XYZ person, I would like give hats off to them because their relations might have gotten affected due to this decision. They did actually get affected because of this decision. And they prioritized their work over their personal life, and that was like
very commendable. Very commendable. It's like when you're doing something, you dedicate yourself to it. Okay, so hats off to whatever secretariat member it was.
Only 3 people will get the context of
what is happening. Okay. So, but even the audience has to understand that telling an OC member not to come entirely tomorrow or not to attend the conference anymore is a very big step. But if such decisions and such penalties are required, the secretariat is not afraid enough to.
It was necessary.
Great. I would like to give hats off to the chairs. Vedant, you were an absolutely amazing chair. Even Gargi. Yes, Gargi we genuinely miss you. But yeah, even she was
an exception.
Absolutely.
Gargi and Gauravi's performance in the committee, they came as guest delegates. So good. The arrest and everything. It was like the golden moment of the entire conference.
We miss you.
Also, there was this thing ki last year I expected a lot from HUNSC, like the heated debates, but we didn't quite get the outcome.
Yes.
And I was like always trying to figure out the problem ki hua kya aise aaya nahi. Maybe it was the formal setting of the UNSC, which did not allow the committee to emerge itna.
Exactly.
But yeah, this time we have it as an Indian committee, and we have seen how Indian committees do rise up. So I'm very excited to see what happens this year.
I think that is one improvement that we made to not keep historic committees
in UN section. Because see, delegates also get skeptical about it because that is something new for them.
It is a formal ROP that you have to follow.
Exactly.
Great. So I would each of you would like to even I mind because I'm a member, so I would want you to give your opinion on what new are we bringing to NYMUN this year. What is one unique thing that we as a new team bring to NYMUN this year?
I mean,
it can be any aspect.
The last, all the complaints that we got last year about the overall management, the overall, organizing of the conference, we are trying our best. We're going to make sure that none of those complaints come again.
Yeah. Especially shuttle service.
We
are definitely working on it.
We're going to have better food this year. We had a lot of compliments for socials food. We're going to make sure the socials food matches or even is better than last year's.
Yeah. And that level of quality even matches the conference.
Conference food, we'll make sure that happens.
We have a wider menu this time for the conference.
Yeah, I think one improvement that even I would like to bring this year is to, I would not actually like to criticize anyone, but the Nasik circuit has not seen how real debate functions. When you go to MUNs in Mumbai, when you go to MUNs in Pune, you actually realize that these people debate with passion and you can see it in their eyes. You told me that people bring binders.
Amarja was a part of the OC at IIT Bombay MUN. She was in my committee, she was the rapporteur for my committee. I was on the first bench. I just sat in the committee, I was like, Nasik ke committees ka experience hai, aaram se I will, get by. I sit, I look around, people have binders.
The research is in
binders, they have like questions ready for people. I'm like, okay, that's something new. So, and I'm just looking at Anuja. Are you kidding me right now?
I have seen chairs talk about it about their time. They were like, nowadays you guys have laptop, you don't need binders, and then I hear about this thing that people carry binders even now.
Yeah.
So laptop plus binders, crazy.
So it's like, what I feel is that my addition to NYMUN this year, what I will try to do is bring delegates from outside so people from Nasik understand how these people actually debate.
And make sure the debate level reaches
that quality.
And we increase the scope of NYMUN. It is not only limited to Nasik, but to all.
We did have outstation delegates last
year as well.
But we like to increase the numbers.
We like to increase the number and we like to increase the quality of the
Actually, about MUNs in Nasik, what we have seen, remember we were a part of a committee that had like 80 delegates, but hardly 5 of them were speaking.
That is honestly very annoying as well, because having 80 delegates in a committee does not make sense.
Yeah, and that conferences do have 80 delegates when they have a huge number of people.
Yeah.
But it is like hard for the EVs to make them speak, and the people who actually want to speak don't get a
chance to speak.
And the level of debates, and the level of debate goes from here to here. Yeah. And you are just waiting and waiting and waiting in the whole committee. You don't get
first timers who genuinely do not want to speak, you have to listen to their speeches too, which practically, they don't have good enough points.
But it's
You're not
also-
discouraging that
that's
first
what-
timer should not speak.
That's what everyone does
Yeah.
in their first time UN. You cannot like encourage them to speak in every mod cop.
If they want to, they will do
They
it.
will, yeah.
And Nasik has this culture of attending MN conferences
For
for
socials.
socials. Mumbai does not have it. I have not seen socials in Mumbai conferences.
Mumbai is
So last year a lot of delegates came up to me and they were like कि भैया non-institutional MUN है तो सब कर सकते हैं क्या सब कर सकते हैं. And people have to realize that such kind of substances, mainly alcohol as well, these things are not allowed at an MUN because what people don't understand in Nasik is that socials is not essentially a partying place. It is where you lobby. But the culture of MUN has evolved in such a way that now it has become a kind of a party that you celebrate during an MUN. So what is your take on this? Do you think people were really, or if people were actually there, doing all of this, it is the secretariat's fault. The complete liability falls on us. So what is your take on this? Did this actually happen last year?
Actually, I think maybe it might not have happened and it might just have been a rumor because we remember that we had this, sixth sense that something might happen. So we decided to have as a last minute checking.
Breathalyzers.
Yeah, we had breathalyzers. And secondly, we decided to check each one properly while we were leaving them for dinner. We had 3 gates and each secretariat member was there along with the USD. And we were having proper checking and everything. We checked their pockets. We tried to, smell their breath so that we can find out if someone is not that way, but it is quite obvious one.
Open your mouth.
Not that
Guys,
way.
open your mouth.
No, I meant as if when someone drinks, you can smell it.
Yeah. You can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. So we couldn't identify someone like that. So I think it does happen a lot.
Yeah, and people actually don't realize that we did have bouncers.
Yeah.
Who were practically.
Yeah. Completely. Tanish, I have a genuine question for you. We've been friends for really long, and I'm talking to you as a member of the secretariat to another. You mentioned it was your first, year as an OC member last year. You were promoted to USG because of your excellent work. Okay, you initially did join as an OC, correct? So, what makes you think that with 1 year, because obviously we've called out those MUNs who just because of 1 year of passion they've come up with an entire conference. So I think we do need to, even address the point that even in 1 year of experience, what has made you grow so much, and what makes you justified to be sitting in the 3rd highest position in an MUN as the Director General?
Basically, I did join as an OC first, but then I did took a break for a little while there, and then I was promoted to USG afterwards. Because I personally thought that I have the leadership and the organization, skills that a person needs to hold up a conference like this, and especially a portfolio like delegate affairs. It needs very intensive work. Like you need to be on your Excel sheet 24/7. You need to be like looking at the data, कौन register कर रहा है, कैसे कर रहा है. You need to be free for that. Okay. So that was one thing. I had these skills. But what about my MUN knowledge? That is something that is very important to be a part of the OC in the first place. So basically, I had the 3 MUNs till I was till when I joined as an USG at NYMUN. And then after that, I attended several MUNs. I did several MUNs as an OC too. Okay, I did Ashokaman as an OC. Okay, I was the OC for PR and marketing there. Then I attended TW1. Okay, the IIT Bombay MUN. I was a delegate there. I attended Pravashim MUN. I was a delegate there. I did an international MUN.
So overall, you had a very well-rounded experience over there.
And basically, I also presented India at the United Nations Geneva headquarters. The both of us. So that was also a very big kind of a thing to actually portray. Being there at the United Nations is much more. It's the equivalent of like 10 MUNs. Like, I've been there. I've spoken there. So it does kind of bring you the confidence to be a part of a bigger MUN.
Great. And I think from what I've heard from Umarja, your interview was also very, very, very good. So congratulations on getting the post. Were you snubbed? Not that way, because that goes on in your head all the time.
I should just get out of this and let you guys
Excuse me. What? Yup! Excuse me. Okay, so now I'm just going to say some adjectives, okay? And you will have to say the first USG or person number that pops up again. Okay? Rage ball.
Arya.
Arya. Sweet rage ball. Yeah, sweet.
Nariyal jaisa.
So.
No, I'll give you. I'll give you.
Okay. So yes, I completely agree.
What do you ignored?
Oh, so I completely agree with that interpretation. Arya's section of Arya. Arya seems to be very cut from outside. Okay, with Yoshi's as well.
Yeah.
But she does get work.
Semi-permeable membrane. It depends on the person. Now if you have a person that obviously is going to be.
Of course.
Great. Now charismatic.
Charismatic, I think, Mahi.
I'd say Vaidhi.
Even I would say Vaidhi. Yeah, even Vaidhi is very charismatic. Vaidhi is very approachable.
I remember last year when I was the anchor with Vaidhi, and then we were like making this. She was making the script. I did not do anything in the script. Vaidhi made the script. So उसमें उसका नाम था, and then I only said Vaidhi, and then she was like, say Vaidhi Chauhan. I'm like, I mean, you can just understand how ambitious she is. Like, she wants her name to be, portrayed. Exactly. Because like, you should say Vaidhi Chauhan. And I was like, I was kind of, I got a very good feeling about it. Like, yeah, this is something
you have to be recognized by your entire name because you are doing something.
Even during her interview, I loved her interview. She was my favorite.
Even I loved her interview was one of the best. Selfish.
Shall we comment on
Abbas.
Abbas, yeah, Abbas.
I'm selfish.
Yeah, Abbas,
Yeah.
you are.
How have I ever been selfish?
You are. Look at your face.
Okay. There's a thin line between narcissism and selfishness.
So, you are both.
Okay.
Asli.
Preppy.
Preppy.
If you say my name, it is going to be the end now. I'm not preppy. Who is preppy?
Who is preppy? Abbas.
Abbas.
I'm not preppy. I think even Anshu is preppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anshu to very large extent is
Anshu
preppy.
and Abbas are preppy. These are always the Iwala people except Abbas.
Soft spoken.
No,
No.
Amarja.
Soft spoken
Amarja is
Amarja.
very. Amarja is the perfect.
Amarja is
Very
soft.
soft spoken. Kindness. Someone who is evergreen.
Arya and Anapur.
Arya and
Arya and Navya. Even Vaidhi, I would say.
Vaidhi.
Even Vaidhi, yeah. She
Arya.
was an OC last year, but I think she equally deserved the
Deserved
USG
the
position
USG
last year.
Last year, I agree. Someone who's gullible. Gullible. I would say gullible in the sense that someone who's very agreeable. In a way.
Niharika?
Niharika is, yeah. Niharika
I mean, she is the USG hospitality.
Hospitality doctor.
So her work is being
Being
gullible. Someone who's carefree.
Carefree.
Does not care about the opinions that come from at least a lot of other people. I think I would say Tehseen to a very large extent is carefree. You do what you want to do.
No.
Yeah, you do what you want to do.
I'm a people pleaser. I'll say yes to anyone.
Someone who's reliable.
Tanish.
Someone who's reliable.
Tanish.
Reliable. I think nothing.
Even Navni.
Tanish
I think
can-
Navni is very reliable.
Yeah.
Navni, yeah, even your work last year was very reliable, but Navni, I would say that she has, actually, you call her out or you do something, you tell her to do
On
something.
it.
Yeah,
On
immediately
it.
on it. I want to do
You
it.
know, even in our, I have worked with her quite several times at DPS, and in our previous conference, she was my support. Like the whole time, she was my backbone. Whenever I needed to get something done really quickly, and I was occupied with something else, I was really on it, done, 5 minutes. Done.
Great. Someone who has a very practical approach, someone who's not very pragmatic.
Abhi.
Yeah, it's someone who's
website creator.
someone who's very disciplined or focused.
Amog, yeah.
Amog is very-
Amog seems disciplined.
Amog,
He's like,
yeah.
yeah.
We've not had a lot of conversations with him,
But the conversation we've already had, it's like pretty guessable. Yeah, Amog is the kind. He's like a disciplined
he's
person.
very focused.
He's even a
Yeah.
teacher, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is one thing that contributes. to it.
Disciplined. I mean, we have head boy.
Exactly. I was
The most
head boy.
undisciplined head boy
I
I
was the
have
head
ever
boy
seen in the history
of
of
this secondary
Ashoka.
section. Please, guys, I was the head boy.
That was a mission
You
by
were-
the
Yeah,
school.
mistake.
It was like that day or voting also did not happen, but please, I was 100% better than Aditya Dev and all the others.
We were going to put a beep there.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's have a conversation about what happened in last year's event. See, 90% of the event was very successful. 100% I can say with all conviction that the event was very, very, very successful. But obviously there are a lot of things that go behind
the room was very high.
I know. The room was very high. Okay.
It reached to the top.
It
of
reached,
the
The room was high.
The room was high. The room was high. Okay.
I remember one point of the conference, I was down where we had the lunch setting, and I was sitting with the whole secretariat. I was the shadow secretariat last year, and I was sitting and some idli kha rahe the, and we heard this banging.
Oh my god.
We heard this banging.
We thought it was an AI.
We thought लोग chair उठा के मार रहे हैं एक दूसरे को. I genuinely
No,
thought.
no. It is not about that. Listen.
Yeah.
I thought that when that sound came, no, you are under exaggerating it. The bang was so loud. We thought that now AIPPM is generally a very active committee. If you would see how people debate at NYMUN and Indian committees, it is on a different level. So we genuinely thought people have picked up chairs and then throwing each other.
And I still remember we were like plates ko bhejwa and we ran upstairs and it was like AIPPM was all cool and chill.
It was IPL.
And then we realized that it was IPL.
Yeah, and there was so much hurling everywhere. I was like, everyone was just shouting and like banging.
I remember
some important player got sold off.
I think Amarja looked at me and she was like, "What happened?" And we both of us rushed and Anshu was rushing behind us. Like, what happened? Because at the end of the day, even delegates have to realize that all of the liability, all of the responsibility falls on the organizer.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a
non-institutional.
They have nothing to, look us over.
I agree. So I think the overall experience of, managing the entire process last year was very difficult. But I think something really fruitful came out.
It was very interesting and fun. It was a new experience for almost everyone here. It was my first time as an OC, and it was just a very new experience. In the beginning, I was like, maybe I won't give it as much as a time, but you do fall in love with it.
Now, coming to how an NYMUN is organized, the most important part of actually organizing an NYMUN is the team, obviously. How we stretch out our human resource. So, what was it like? How was the overall recruitment process for you? We'll come to the gossip later because there's a lot of it and the NYMUN has barely just begun and there's a lot of things to talk about. But coming to actually, how was it? We sat through all of those USG interviews. We talked about what people were lacking in or what were their really good strengths. And we came up with a very, very, very mature, experienced and efficient USG. All of our USGs are very, hardworking, I would say.
Right.
So, how would you describe this process of selection for you all?
I would say we quite grilled them during the interviews.
Yeah, we were very tough on them.
Yeah, we made sure that we have the best people. And we used to keep all our past things aside and have a very neutral point of view.
Yeah, how did we actually have this neutral point of view? Is that each member who is assessing used to assess on the same criteria.
Yeah.
So everybody would have an equal chance of comparison at the end. So
we used to have this as an average wala basis ki this iska opinion, so that we have a club opinion and then we have the best person for that thing. Okay. And maybe sometimes we had contradicting thoughts about some people, but most of that time it was like we were on the same page. Most of that time, like 99% we were on the same page. And yeah, we have our USGs.
As Tassin said, we were on the same page because we already knew what we needed. Because looking at last year, we had such an efficient team. I was a part of the team, but we knew exactly what we were looking for, and that's why we just got it. Okay, that we need this person as a USG with us, and to ensure that that we did have neutrality. I'll give a personal opinion. I'll give a personal experience. Let's say Mahi, for example. I know Mahi from a very long time. She has been my friend. But I made sure that I grilled her extra hard.
Yeah, exactly. Because you perform under pressure.
Yeah. So I made sure that it doesn't look like, or it's not like I'm friends with her, so she should go by easily. No, it's not supposed to be like that. She needs to give her best, and she did. And today we have her with us.
And it's like they had a benchmark to beat, or at least
exactly.
to beat.
And last year's team was
the expectations were yes.
And you know what? When we all are actually seeing, this is also for our audience and the delegates, you actually don't, you see, but you don't realize how much goes behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We have to run during all 8 hours of the conference. We are obviously on our feet. So we know what kind of work that has to be put in, and we had this set expectation that if you cannot reach up to this, you will not be welcome in IT.
We were excited for Tanish's successor because one of the most successful departments that we had last year was Television and Event Management.
Yes.
So we were like, let's see who can reach to that benchmark, and we found those people.
We found those people.
It's
we
like
found a lot of
the last year
experience.
USGs are like, I am here, you are here.
No, that does not work. So
We were
coming to that.
excited for Tanish's successor because one of the most successful departments that we had last year was Television and Event Management.
Yes.
So we were like, let's see who can reach to that benchmark, and we found those people.
We found those people.
It's
we
like
found a lot of
the last year
experience.
USGs are like, I am here, you are here.
No, that does not work. So coming to that, last year it was like a unified opinion, and you guys don't get to debate. Amasha, you don't get to debate this. It was a unified opinion that I was the favorite member of the secretariat.
No.
I was the favorite
No,
member of the
No,
secretariat.
see, we were debating upon this whether we should ban you or not, and a lot of people
No,
supported
no,
you.
no, no.
Okay.
See, I was the favorite member of the secretariat last year.
Right.
We have to get the founders back this year. To, maybe I don't think there's been a lot of change in the secretariat except in addition this year, and even Abhishek. But yeah, I think I will retain that favorite
You
position.
won't.
You
I
won't.
You never had it to
I
Yeah,
retain.
will.
you never had.
I will.
You never had it to retain.
I will.
No.
This time maybe no chair loves you so much.
Oh, not that one.
You were practically
You were that chairperson over there.
Exactly. See,
Let's not talk about the
Oh,
executive
yeah.
board.
Abbas, just shut up. My favorite person was Amarjit.
and Amar's favorite person was me.
No, you
No,
were
you
not.
weren't.
We will have a cameo with Amarja. Okay? Let's coming to our OCs this year. See, we did give a lot of freedom for our USGs also to make their own team, to structure their own team. And how do you think our OC team has turned out this year?
I think we have a lot of new additions compared to last year. Like we have retained many, but at the same time we have people we didn't have last year or we don't even know personally. Based on their experience and the way the USGs judge them and we judge them, we have picked them out. And I think they've turned out to be quite great. As far as I've seen them active on the groups, like the groups that have been working since like quite a few months, for example, event management, I think they will turn out to be a great team.
Even marketing is a very
Yeah,
active
marketing
is a
and
very
PR.
ambitious
Yeah.
ambitious team. I agree.
They are
So-
constantly on like
continue.
they are constantly on like new ideas,
Exactly.
and they want to work.
Yes.
They want to. They
Yeah,
have the
that has to be
ability to
there.
work.
They have to want to work.
Last year, I think we started our main work around June. Our MUN was
Yeah.
in September, so we are June, July, August.
August.
Our MUN is in June right now, and we are working from January, so we have started way early this year.
Earlier.
All thanks to our OC team, which
Yeah.
actually has the will to work.
I agree. See, it's not. I will not put a very like a fake this to our audiences as well. The work obviously will increase over time. We have like right now we cannot say that all of the OCs are giving their 100%.
Yeah.
But with time, even the audiences have to understand that there is a lot of time to the MUN right now. And as we move forward with the MUN, the work is just going to become more robust.
And another thing is that they are managing their votes. Most of them are
Yes,
managing
the
their
examination,
votes.
final
So it
examination.
is
The recording this we do during March, and everyone from the organizing committee has their
has their
votes.
votes, and it is quite commendable that they are not like we don't want to work. They are willing to work even right now.
I agree. And that kind of dedication is something that we require at NYMUN. Cut.